Hello, my little babies. We're playing some real fire now. Playing Endymion. Because I am going to be the new pen god. No, I'm not, but it's nice to think it at least. Pendulum's pretty fun. It's actually it's one of the first decks I ever built IRL when I came back to the game. I played very briefly, and playing very briefly, I ended up only doing 2 local events, and in those 2 local events, I got 1 OST pack, and I ended up getting an ultimate rare Twin Twisters, which was pretty cool. I was very lucky. But as you can see, I went into Electromite. If you're wondering why I summoned the Magical Abductor, it's because I didn't have any spellcasters and you need it for Secret Village. So now we're going to summon all these big boys out. And then we're going to go into Apollousa. Then we're going to activate Magister of Endymion to bring back Cerberus. So our opponent has to deal 1, 2, 3, 4 negates on the board right now. It's very hard for someone to deal with that. So he's playing Phantom Knights because he's a lame-o. So we're gonna counter the Cherubini because that card's really annoying. But the thing is, we're gonna counter it with our Jackal because Jackal kills the Cherubini. And then we're activating Magister of Endymion to special summon another Jackal out to have follow-up. So now we went from 4 negates, now we have 5 negates for this turn. And for everything that he uses, like everything he tries to activate in the graveyard, we want to use Apollousa's effect. Because Apollousa's effect doesn't destroy, so we'd rather just waste that than use our beautiful Jackal's effect. And we have like the perfect amount of tokens here, the spell counters, because we have enough to do this, and we also have one more, enough to negate if he has something. But he can't activate any spells anyways because Secret Village, and it's over. Because we're amazing. Alrighty, here we are for match 2. We are playing against Sword Soul, everyone's favorite deck. Everyone loves seeing this deck. We're gonna Upstart Goblin, Mythical Institution, Spell Power Mastery. Gonna get Endymion, the Magister of Endymion. Activate Servant. He's gonna Ash me, but he's a silly little goblin. He's a silly little goblin. Because we're going to call by the Grave-It. And then he's going to maxx'd. I figured he had maxx'd, but I didn't. The thing is, this deck doesn't care that much about maxx'd. Like, yeah, we're going to give him a few extra draws, but I'm going to set up so many negates, it doesn't really fucking matter. You know what I mean? So, right here, this is one of the blunders I make sometimes with the deck. And you have to always watch the positioning of your cards. So realistically, for Endymion, I should have placed him either in the middle of an aisle, or I should put him in the far right, like one of the far corners. That way we're not blocking Electromite. It's a small misplay. I mean, it could be a bigger misplay though. Definitely could be a bigger deal. Like, what do I have in here? It doesn't really affect us here because I just had 1 Jackal really to bring back. But it could affect us in the future. And it also prevents us from link climbing into Apollousa. So it definitely costs you a bit. But we have actually a really good board right now. A lot of negates. We're going to negate Moe at Yay. So he used his normal summon already. Only thing I have to worry about is the Long Yao. And we're going to be able to stop his search. Returning Servant of Endymion back to hand. And then he plays Pot of Desires. I'm just going to keep denying his spell casts here. because he's clearly searching for long, and we don't want him to get it. And I bounce back the Endymion here because if he had some weird Geomancer play, I just didn't want him taking it. So yeah, he's pretty much screwed. He pretty much lost the game here. There's no way you win at this point. He's gonna Sword Soul Blackout, and I can just easily negate it. It honestly doesn't even matter what I bounce at this point, but I'll probably just bounce the Magister. And he concedes. GG. Alright guys, this is the third and final match before the live game. I just want to preface here that I know I showed 2 games in a row where me going first. This deck excels at going first. That's the main reason why. This game, I'm not going first. So if you're going to cry about it, whatever. I'm at least I'm showing this deck going second. Obviously, we're not running a bunch of hand traps. So if someone fucking does like a true king combo to us, we probably just lose. We don't really have much outs to it. This deck is meant to go first, and there's no side decking. So if you go first, it's almost like a free win. I'm going to show my win-loss record with the deck as well. So stay tuned for that. This guy's doing some Ignister shit because, you know, it's his world. We're all just living in it. Honestly, I'm just going to fast forward what my opponent's doing. Because if you guys have ever seen this combo, it's like a fucking 30-minute turn. And personally, I don't want to see it. Honestly, this is like, I don't even understand why you want to play this. Just because how fucking, dude, I would fall asleep doing this shit. Look at him. Now he's going into synchro summoning. I don't even know if all this is necessary. Because then he just goes into his final boss monster anyway. What did they even do? And he has 2 traps. 2 cards in the back, bro. Now, do we win this? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I know. I'm fucking amazing. You're going to play Abductor. He played maxx'd on our opener. Like I said, we don't really get affected that much by maxx'd as you'd think we would. He'll draw like 3 cards max. But if we can try and win this turn, it doesn't matter. We're going to draw another 2 cards. And we're just going to Pendulum Summon. He only draws 1 card for this, by the way. Because Pendulum can't summon all summons at once. Which is hilarious. Endymion. We're going to bounce. Bounce a card. He drew the 1 card he drew was Effect Veiler. Like how fucking unlucky is that? It's alright. We're gonna make Underworld Goddess, thank you. We get dropleted. But the thing is, he had no monsters to draw, affect the droplet. So now he activates this to special summon a monster from the graveyard. But Underworld Goddess shuts that down. I got 2 negates. Oh man. This is why you run Underworld Goddess. If I did not run Underworld Goddess, there's 0 chance we ever beat that. Like, there's no way we beat it. Now it's like a free easy dub. Our opponent sets 1 card. It could be anything. Endymion stops it. Easy game. Easy clap.
Hello, my beautiful little animals. It's time to hit diamond. Damn. My opponent's also looking to hit diamond. It's gonna be a close one. We're going first, at least. Let's just hope our hand isn't dog shit. It's gonna be the worst hand I possibly could have. Guaranteed. It's pretty bad. So this hand's weird. This hand's wacky because if he doesn't have an interrupt for this, it's a good hand. If he does, I lose. Okay. So far,
No problemo. So now I am going to be able to activate Endymion, the servant. And now I will be able to go into our... maybe we should go with that. Yeah. Let's go into Mythical Beast Jackal King. And then we'll go into Servant. There's reasons why I do the things I do. Don't question me. So we're gonna do this just to get the scales up for him. Gonna pop it, just put it on the Citadel. So here's where things get a little iffy. Not really iffy, but we're gonna normal summon and go into Electromite. This is just to combat a hand trap. So if he has something, hopefully that's not infinite and perm. Okay. Let's see. It's tough. I think we go Endymion. Oh, I really shouldn't have done that with the Jackal. Dude, this is what happens when you play at fucking 2 a.m. in the morning and you're too tired to do things correctly. So now I have two options. I can roll the dice and pop my Magister to hope I top deck, or I have to pop my Citadel, which is fucking horrible. I'm gonna have to pop Citadel. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I have to do this. If I didn't do this, I'm very much basing everything that happens now off of luck, which is really not a place you want to be at. So we can get Endymion. We'll get this stupid bird. I really can't do much more else in this. I mean, I could go into this, but I guess that would probably be the best play. Yeah. Unfortunate. I don't know. I do like the idea. So I'll get... This is how greedy I am. I'll get 2 extra draws from doing that. And I'll get not 2 extra, 2 extra negates, monster negates. If I get Kaiju'd anyway, I guess it doesn't even matter. And I'm being greedy because I want to get this bounce. So like if he activates a spell, I can bounce Magister and then get a draw. Fuck it, we're gonna be a greedy goblin. We're gonna be fucking greedy as shit, dude. This is horrible. Do not recommend this at home. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna get punished so hard for this. I already know it. The thing is, if he has a Kaiju, I get punished anyway, because, like, he can just... Oh, okay. Well, I guess nothing ever even mattered. Yeah, Forbidden Droplet. Well, that's not cool. Well, we probably lost. He's playing fucking Phantom Knights. It's like a million fucking extenders, and he had Droplet. Like, story of my fucking life. And then he had a follow-up, Grass is Greener. Wow. Life's incredible. I was hoping that this for some reason would still let me bounce, but it's not for cost, so it doesn't. I won't let you do it. Pretty much my field's kind of useless now. Honestly, kind of confused. His deck... He's definitely playing a Phantom Knight deck. But maybe it looks wacky because he has fucking... No, he's going to be able to pop off. He has like a million things in the graveyard. He does run Kaiju. Yeah, how unlucky it is to play against a deck that's running 60 cards and just has every single answer possibly in their opener. That's like... ridiculously unlucky. I guess we just let him do whatever he wants. Oh god, this is why I don't like doing fucking live duels. They're so fucking boring, dude. Like, why would someone want to sit here and just watch someone play solitaire? I've never seen an individual get so lucky where they just had everything in the opener. You know? They had Forbidden Droplet and they had Grass is Greener and a 60 card deck. Kind of fucking gross. And I guarantee you they only play like one Droplet or some shit. Like one or two Droplets. And our opponent fucked up his turn and we win. I just don't even understand this at this point.
Are you over the age of 20 and still play children's cards games? Then do we have a solution for you. Subscribe to Fatsoid and at least you won't suck ass at the game you're playing. Subscribe. Take back your dignity.
I guess we're gonna win. Wow, that was such... Dude, every time I hit diamond on these accounts, like... And this is a brand new account. I fucking did it today. Every time I hit diamond on these accounts, it feels like the fucking last win is like so anticlimactic. You know what I mean?
Now let's look at the stats of this brand new account.
All right. We've logged in for 2 days. I tell you right now, the first day I logged into this shit, it's only counting 2 days because I opened the account at like 6 p.m. on Sunday. And I played this shit until like 2 in the morning on Monday. The shit I do for you guys. So this is pretty much one day. It was like a 6, 7, maybe an 8-hour session. And we got in 76 total duels with 61 wins. Now you might be saying, what's the win percentage on that? Well, let me bring out the calculator. So if you do 61 divided by 76, that's an 80% win rate. 80% win rate to diamond. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This deck is nuts. Play the deck. It's fucking good.
Lo and behold, the list that all you little goblins need to see.
We run Mythical Beast Jackal. Why do we run this? Because it's a decent card. Yes, it's at 4 for the Pendulum Scales. It's a level 1 for Link Karibo, which is decent. It's also a way of boosting up Mythical Institution. So if you have Mythical Institution on the field, you play Mythical Beast Jackal, activate its effect. That will give you 3 charges on this, and then you could use that to search Servant of Endymion. So don't at me. This card's good. It's fine at 2. Magister of Endymion and Servant of Endymion, fucking baller. The one card I would say you might look at is maybe the Magical Abductor, but there's so many games where this card was so useful because it pretty much tutors any pendulum monster you want, any spellcaster, which is pretty much your entire deck besides, yeah, your entire deck spellcasters. So it's a good ad. You got Mythical Beast Jackal King. Obvious reasons we have it. Endymion, obvious reasons we have it at 3. I had it at 2 one time and I banished it from my my one of Pot of Desires, and I was like, you know what, we're bumping that to 3. The card's good enough to have multiples of. Remember, the effects of Jackal King and Endymion are not once per turn. It's not a hard once per turn. So if you have multiple Endymions, multiple Jackal Kings, you can activate the effect multiple times. That's what makes the deck so crazy and how you're able to get so many negates up. And honestly, there's so many games where people just don't want to play against negates. So when they see you put that many up, they just fucking concede. I don't blame them either. I would concede too. In a best of 1 format, this deck I feel like just feels kind of OP, honestly. Like, I know people in the comments are going to be like, it's not OP, Fatsoid. You're fucking fat. That's why you don't know shit. And I'm going to say to you, probably. But in a best of 1 format and you go first, if your opponent doesn't have adequate things to stop this, you just lock the game down. But that's for most decks, I'd say. It's a very strong turn 1. It's not unbeatable, but it's very strong turn 1 that this deck usually has. We run 2 Call by the Graves because I feel like out of all the things, it's necessary and it's a spell. So if I play Servant of Endymion and then they decide to activate maxx'd after the fact, I can call by the grave and give it a spell counter. And I stop the maxx'd, stop them drawing. It's also good to stop the ashes, because the ashes hurt a lot, especially with, like, if you're trying to do a Cerberus play, where you play Cerberus, you sack it to its own ability to get Jackal King. If they ash the Cerberus, the Cerberus stays on the field, which is not something you want, so you need to stop that ash. Into the Void works perfect with this deck. Most of the time you do not end up with any cards in hand, so it's fine. You're pretty much dumping everything on the field. Now for our... So we have Terraforming. We have 2 Magical Citadels, and we have 1 Secret Village. So Secret Village, if you play this card and you have other negates, let's say you play this card and you have like 2 Jackals out, your opponent is like almost fucked, because if they have any semblance of a spell heavy deck, they are just going to lose. This card will single-handedly like lock decks out of the entire game. Like, if someone played this against me, I was playing Pendulums, I would just automatically lose. Not too much in my case, because I am playing all spellcasters, but like, you get what I'm saying. I run a lot of spells. And same thing with like Sky Strikers. Play this against Sky Strikers, they're fucked. There's no chance they win that game. So yeah, the deck works great, super consistent. And yes, Upstart Goblins, I understand they're ultra rares. You should fucking build them. Just build them. Quit being a crybaby. I was actually thinking about adding chicken games. Chicken games will probably increase the consistency even more. I actually am building up ultra rare, so I might be able to add it. Chicken game would be another addition to this deck. I wouldn't even remove anything from the deck per se. I would just add to it. I would just make the deck go to 42. Add 2 chicken games. I wouldn't, because I wouldn't even want to remove the abductors for chicken game. Just go to 42. Now, when you look at the extra deck, the main card you need is Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. Like, this is what I'm going to say. A lot of people like to mess with the extra deck. I would say absolutely keep Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. It's really good to combo off with. Heavy Metals Foes Electromite you need 100%. IP Masquerena I think you need 100%. Selene you need. Apollosa and Underworld. Everything else, do whatever you want with. I think this is a very solid extra deck. Those are the ones I would say you 100% need. Even the Link Karibo you don't necessarily need. Gravity Control is pretty good. Honestly, I like it too because it's a rare spot. Saves you some fucking cheddar, you know? Cross Sheep is pretty useful. But then again, it's like the only thing you're really getting out of the Cross Sheep is if you have a level 4 in the graveyard, when you special summon the fusion, you'll be able to special summon it. So honestly, Cross Sheep you probably could remove. I didn't really use it that much. And when I did use it, it was mainly for the link arrows. So honestly, I'd replace that 100%. This card was pretty useful. I literally only used it once though, so probably could replace it too. Everything else though seems pretty necessary. The Nightmare Unicorn was actually pretty useful too. It's really good with IP Masquerena. That's the only reason why you run it. But honestly, you have some tricky plays too. You can honestly IP Masquerena into Selene. Use Selene because Selene's effect's quick effect, and then grab a spellcaster from the hand or graveyard and play it. So there's some cases, probably rare cases, you end up doing that. But this is the list. The list is fucking good. I told you what to do. Some edits. I don't want to see the comments saying, "Hey, do you think, Vetside, do you think I should add chicken game to it?" If you watched the fucking video, you would have seen that I said chicken game would be a very good addition to the deck. Other than that, if you have any questions, please ask down below.